First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thank you very much for joining us here. We are live here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, as we are every weekday, and we cover a wide range of topics here on this show. And since we are live, feel free to drop in your comments if you're watching, but also don't forget to download the Fox 12 Oregon app. Great way to follow along with everything that we are doing here on this show. And one thing we're going to be talking about here today for this segment is the 70th anniversary of the Community Music Center as part of Portland Parks and Rec. And I'm going to go ahead and get our guests in here with us right now. Joining us to talk all about this, we have Sue Pack, we have Gregory Dubay, two different roles there within the Portland Parks and Rec community, and of course the Community Music Center. But thanks both of you for being here with us today. I'm excited to talk about this and just all the great work that that the center's done over the years. But to give everybody, you know, that general context and understanding of it, Sue, I was hoping maybe, if you don't mind, telling us just about your role and then how this fits into the ecosystem of the things that Portland Parks and Rec offers.
Yeah, so the City of Portland makes a significant investment in the arts, including arts programming at Portland Parks and Recreation. So at Parks, we oversee 3 art centers, as well as free outdoor cultural programming in our parks in the summer. And so of the 3 centers includes Multnomah Arts Center, Interstate Firehouse Cultural Center, as well as Community Music Center.
So all of those encompassing that. And when it comes to, you know, the arts side of things, tell us, you know, how important that is for the community through Portland Parks and Recs to be providing these different opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, Parks has the depth and breadth of programming because there's high community demand for them. So CMC, Community Music Center, and Multnomah Arts Center, they've got really robust arts and music programming that are, those classes are really full. And the interest and demand is so high that we have also started to partner with other community organizations around the city to provide arts programming in larger geographical areas. So the interest and need is high, and we continue to respond and grow accordingly.
That's great. So obviously serving a very important role there for the community with that much demand for this. And it's been going for a long time, talking about the Community Music Center, 70 years, I believe, if I have that number correct. Gregory, can you tell us just about your role there with the Community Music Center and a little bit about that history, how this all got going?
Yeah, sure. So I'm the site supervisor of the Community Music Center, otherwise known as the director of the Community Music Center. And I was actually a student here when I was a child, so I've been with the organization a long time, but started here as director about 23 years ago. And yeah, so Community Music Center started in the mid-50s as part of a national movement of community arts learning that really had a groundswell in the 20th century, but actually stretches all the way back to the time of Vivaldi in the 17th century. But really took off in the U.S. in the early 1900s and moved from east to west. And some of your listeners might be familiar with Mary Dodge and her Sagebrush Symphony and the foundations when she moved to Portland that she created for community arts learning, specifically community music learning. But it wasn't until 1955 that then Recreation Director Dorothea Lynch, Parks and Rec Director Dorothea Lynch, got together with the site director at what's now the Matt Dishman Community Center. It was called the Knott Street Community Center. Robert Crawley, and Robert Crawley was a sort of an avid musician, multi-instrumentalist, and Dorothea Lynch, who was famous for saying recreation is more than balls and bats. She was really very much in favor of bringing arts programming into the community centers and to the community. And so the story goes that Dorothea went to Robert and said, Bob, we've got to innovate, and why don't you put together some music classes? And they mostly were classes for adults that, excuse me, that Robert taught himself. He was a cellist or a quarter player, a singer, musicologist, and composer. So we put together a whole list of classes, all for $1 a piece for enrollment, and that became the foundation of what is the Community Music Center today.
Wow. I mean, yeah, the idea that, the innovation of that, to bring that into the system and having that available for people to take these classes, and that's something that's clearly continued on to this day. I would imagine probably has expanded a lot just from Robert teaching classes all by himself. There's a lot more people that are involved now, and looking at that, can you tell us about just the modern version of this? 70 years later, how is the Community Music Center doing, and what are some of those offerings that they provide to the Portland community as a whole?
Yeah, sure. Well, right here at our site alone, we've got about 650 registrations per week. So we've got a lot of activity in our small firehouse. And for those historians out there watching, might be interested to know that it was actually Dorothea Lynch also who went to Mayor Schrunk at the time and said, there are all these firehouses being decommissioned. Let's use those for art centers. And so that became the Community Music Center, the Portland Actors Conservatory, the Interstate Firehouse Cultural Center. So anyhow, flash forward to today. And so, so we have partner activities with the Adaptive Inclusive Recreation Program in Parks and Rec, the Lifelong Learning Program, which serves seniors, the Sun School Community Center Program, even the county library we're partnering with, just to break down those barriers and get out in different geographic locations. And so we've always stayed with that core programming of mostly choir and voice, piano, guitar, recorders, and a lot of string instruments. So that's really been our core focus throughout the 70 years, and we're able to expand that out to the city through those partnerships.
I think that's really fascinating, that tidbit there about just all the fire stations and the firehouses, that's why those are in there. That makes sense. I'm sure as things changed in that front, they were able to consolidate a lot of things since you have those buildings there, and that's great that they're still being used for the community. Going to the music side of things, with all of these different offerings that you have of course a number of different instructors, and a lot of them seem to have been there for a very long time, and that's why some are going to be honored here very soon. Could you tell us about those instructors, or just the general idea of them being in there, and telling us about the instructors and just why this honoring is so important?
Yeah, thanks. So it is pretty unusual that we have instructors here that have been, and we're all city employees, by the way, here, I as well as all of our instructors. So that's sort of unique in and of itself, but they've been part of this program for up to 45 years. And so we're taking the opportunity for this weekend's event that not only celebrates the 70th anniversary of the Community Music Center and the beginning of music programming in Parks and Rec, but also the longevity of these 7 individuals who have taught at CMC for 25 years or more. We have over 25 instructors on our roster, but these 7 have been with us for a long, long time, from 25 to 45 years. And our instructors here are all performing artist instructors, and so they're in the classroom teaching, and then they go and perform. And it's not just do as I say; it's do what I do, right? It's they're providing the example for these young and old music learners to go out there and perform. So a lot of them have master's degrees in their areas of expertise, active performers, as I say, and so they're really contributing to the community in a lot of different ways. Some of them are just teaching at the center for an hour or 2 a week, sometimes a few days a week, and that's all part of performing artist's career these days, is teaching and performing and putting that all together.
I mean, that does serve such a valuable purpose, but also I've got to think both for yourself, having been involved since you were a kid, really, and then also now being director for so long, it's got to mean a lot to you, I would think, personally, to be able to provide these services and interact with the community members as they come in to learn music.
Yeah, thanks. It really does. You know, when I first came here, I was playing in professional orchestras around the country, and I saw a kind of drop in attendance in orchestra concerts. And my first impetus was like, I want to do more in education. I want to do more for helping people realize what a great thing live music is, right? And so that's initially why I came here. But you know, why I've stayed and why I've been so involved here is just that building that access to positive and creative expression outlet for people, whether that's youth or older adults. It's seeing those families spend more time together in the process of these music lessons and classes and contributing to their community more. I have sometimes walking past my door, I hear parents saying to their children, "I'm so proud of you for how you're doing in music today." Literally, that's what they say. And it's just so gratifying to have that family connection going on. And you know, all the academic achievement and brain health things we hear and read about that music contributes to, that's all great as well. So that's what's in it for me.
I mean, that's great, and that's helping so many people out, and now honoring, you know, some of these instructors that have been there also for so long, for decades, you know, in some cases. Obviously important to them. And tell us about this honoring that's coming up and how it is that you're going to be, you know, acknowledging some of that work.
Thanks. So yeah, we have a tradition here at the Community Music Center, almost on a yearly basis, where we have what's called our faculty concert. Our teachers play, perform for the community, and the money we raise in ticket prices goes to help our nonprofit. So we're not only a Parks and Rec organization, we're supported by a nonprofit that's been around since 1960, supporting our organization. And so all of these honored instructors will be performing, as well as other of their colleagues, in a concert. So that's this Saturday at 3 p.m. at the Community Music Center. We start with a reception at 2, and we'll have some memorabilia display, and for those who like looking at old photos and old news clippings and so forth, that'll be a nice treat. Some refreshments, and then the concert starts at 3 o'clock on Saturday. And people can buy tickets by going to communitymusiccenter.org.
I love this, you know, something that started that long ago, but still serving exactly the same purpose across all these different decades and times. Music's still very important for everybody, and just expanding those services, and now getting to celebrate that in the 70 years so far, and some of the work that these instructors have done, and then going on into the future with it. And Sue, anything else that you think is important just for people to know about the Community Music Center and just all the centers and arts programs that Portland Parks offer?
Well, I would like to speak to just CMC and just say that, you know, music making and enjoying music is a part of human nature, and really core to perhaps every culture and civilization. So it's an honor to be able to serve Portlanders with music education through CMC. And we're excited for the 70th anniversary, and look forward to 70 more years.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you to both of you for joining us. I appreciate it, your time, and congratulations and thanks for all the hard work that you do with that. And people can go out and celebrate for that, or find out classes as well, all at that website. So thank you to both of you for joining us here on Fox 12 Now.
Thank you,
Greg.
And for everybody watching, again, we are live here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, so thanks for being here with us. Part of live means we get to have these longer conversations like this and cover a lot of topics. Coming up later today, we're going to be talking about Six, the musical, which is going to be at the Keller Auditorium. We're also going to be talking to TriMet about funding concerns that they're having. So wide range of things here on this show. So feel free to send me an email, fox12now@kptv.com, if you have a thought for a topic, or maybe a deeper dive of one of our other news stories that you'd like to hear more about. But for right now, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.